Hello and welcome to 2003 Hyundai Terracan 2.9 diesel review. I'm going to show you this car, talk about it. Please forgive the wind today. We got a big storm coming through. As usual, if you find my content useful, please consider like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Hyundai Terracan, it's a pretty interesting vehicle. Back in the early 2000s, Hyundai wanted a full-size SUV, but they didn't really have a design for one, so they just bought it from Mitsubishi, as Hyundai has done many, many times. So they bought the Pajero, and the Pajero was all new, I think, for 2001, brand new platform. And they bought their own diesel engine from VM Motori. And if you don't know who VM Motori is, it's an Italian diesel company. It's now owned by General Motors, but it was owned by Chrysler for, I think, for a while. The new Dodge Rams and Jeep Grand Cherokees came with VM Motori diesels. Pretty good unit. This thing is a 7-seater SUV. It's quite interesting. It's got these neat fold-down seats, which just hook on the top here. But my daughter, who's 6, sat in the back here, no problem. Interior is like brand new on this thing. Well, we got a big wind coming in. Let's go inside and talk about this for a minute. So they bought an Italian diesel engine, which was common rail direct injection. What's common rail direct injection? Well, it's basically a high pressure injection type of diesel where they inject diesel directly into the cylinder multiple times during a firing event. So it makes it a lot easier to control. This entire thing is computer controlled. So the throttle, everything is completely computer controlled. And so the diesel is actually quite quiet. It's rated 150 horsepower and 250 foot-pounds of torque. It's turbocharged. This thing, you know, it's not a ton of power until it builds boost, but it builds boost right away, and then it's got lots of power. It's got a 4-speed automatic, which works quite well. This particular one, there's 2 types of 4-wheel drives that came in Terracans. This one's got the automatic, or they call it the Highlander. Most of them just came like a truck, so it was like 2 high, 4 low. This one has an automatic center differential, which can vary the power from rear to front by any amount that it wants. So it's just got like a motor in there that just ramps up how much power. So when it detects slip, it's always in rear-wheel drive for fuel economy. And when it detects slip, it just starts ramping power up to the front. You put this thing in neutral, click down to low range, and then you've got real low range. This is a body-on-frame SUV. So unlike, you know, like a Toyota Highlander, actually, which is like a car. It's a Camry that's jacked up. This thing's like a truck. So it's got a high tow capacity. It's actually rated at 6,100 pounds of tow. It has the torque for it. You would accelerate a little slow. I mean, if you were pulling like a standard trailer, like 3,000 pounds, I think you would be completely fine. I imported this thing directly from Korea myself. It has very low mileage on it, which is really nice. Unfortunately, the Koreans enjoy screwing things into the dashboard, as the Japanese tend to do. So it's not totally perfect in here, but this interior is like brand new. When I unfolded the 3rd row seat back there, a Korean newspaper fell out from 2005. So I don't think they were ever used. Let's have a quick look at the engine here. It's so windy out. There is your inline 4-cylinder turbocharged common rail direct injection VM Motori diesel. This thing works great. One thing about this diesel is it's very quiet, which is super nice. There's a ton of room to work in here because this also came with a 3.5-liter V6, so there's lots of room on the side. I've been buying parts from the UK. The fuel filter, they're very important to keep clean. I got a brand new one on there from the UK. It was really easy to get. Got a brand new airflow meter. It was actually for a US, like Sorrento. Anyways, direct fit, lots of stuff is fine. This thing is like brand new under here, which is super awesome. It's got some stick-on chrome trim on here, which whether you like it or not, I don't know, you can always take it off if you wanted to, but I think they're a very handsome truck. This thing has all sorts of door dings on it. I think, you notice these Korean, like, door protectors. I guess everyone's just slamming everybody else in the parking lots with their doors. I think this thing is a huge SUV in Korea. So it kept getting whacked, but there's no real dents or anything. It's just got a bunch of scratches on it from people whacking it with doors, I guess. Anyway, it's got nice big tires on this thing too. It's got 255s on it, as any proper nice size SUV would have. Let's take this thing for a spin. All right, as far as big boy up, this thing doesn't have glow plugs. It has preheaters, so it preheats the air I believe, coming into the intake, so it'll start in cold weather. I put this giant 10-inch screen Android stereo in here with a backup camera, which is super awesome because everybody loves a backup camera. Automatic climate control, of course. Let's crank that down a little bit. Let's go to reverse. Everybody loves a backup camera. Let's go for a ride. So it doesn't have the super awesome ride quality, again, of like a crossover, but it's a bit more rugged. I've seen lots of off-road videos with these things, and it certainly is capable, especially with an actual low range. It's quite a big difference. It's the same low range as you get in like a pickup truck. I think it's 2.7 to 1 ratio. The 4-speed automatic works really well. It has quite smooth shifts. The brakes are really good in this thing. The steering, it's a standard worm gear, so it's not super direct, but it's pretty good. This thing has lots and lots of grip. One thing that's interesting is with only 150 horsepower, I thought it would be kind of slow, but it's really not bad at all. 250 foot-pounds of torque goes a long way. Once this thing gets on boost, I'm sure it's electronically regulated, so it's compensating for the high altitude here in Calgary, so it's making lots of power. It's interesting, it's got this rear view mirror that's hanging off the rear wing. You can actually back up to stuff really close. It works really, really well. But this thing has lots of power and lots of room. It also has a very tight turning radius, which I really like. It looks like a big SUV, but it's really, I think, smaller than like a Ford Explorer, a little bit. So when you're driving it, it has a really compact feel inside. It's not like you're driving like an Expedition or something humongous. But these are really popular all around the world, Terracans. It was always my dream to import one, so I directly got it from Korea. This thing just passed an out-of-province inspection, which here in Alberta is incredibly comprehensive, which means every single mechanical item and safety thing, tires, every single thing has to be perfect to pass it. So she passed it, and I'm really proud of that. I wanted to make everything absolutely perfect on this thing, but I'm really excited about it. It's a great rig. These things are value priced. They're left-hand drive, which is awesome, and I think it's good. Highway speed this thing holds. I was going 120 kilometers an hour, and I accelerated, and accelerates completely fine. Again, you'd think with 150 horsepower it would be super slow, but it's not. The big thing about having a diesel, of course, is mileage. This thing is supposed to make, at the highway, if you're taking it easy, 30 miles to the gallon, which is crazy for something this big. And then in town, you know, worse than that, but a lot better than gas. A whole lot better than gas. And it's quite quiet for a diesel. I really like it. I had no idea what these were like before I imported it, and I've really been pleasantly surprised by what a nice rig it is. Anyways, I'm putting this thing up for sale. So if you're interested, you know, let me know. I'd love to get one too. Ooh, they sold this with a 5-speed too, which would be super awesome. But the truth is that automatic is good for most of the time. Anyways, if you had a Terracan, do you like Terracans? I sure like this thing. Ask me some questions. Maybe I can help you out. And until then, diesel lovers, see you in the next one.